All right, so you know that debate that just seems to pop up everywhere? Like, seriously, it's at the bar, it's at the office, it's even at, like, family dinners. You know what I'm talking about, right? Messi versus Ronaldo.
Oh, yeah.
Who is the greatest of all time? The GOAT. And, it can get pretty heated
It
sometimes.
can it can get pretty intense. There's so much passion.
Yeah, people get really invested, don't they? It's like a matter of personal pride almost.
Yeah, exactly right. Like people feel like they're defending their own team, even if it's just like, a debate about these two players.
And it's been going on forever, right? It feels like this has been the debate for like the last 15 years in football.
Yeah, for a good reason. I mean, they've both been just so dominant for so long that it's hard to even compare them to anyone else, really.
Right, exactly. So for this deep dive, we're going to get into all of it. We went deep on some podcasts, specifically some transcripts from Sports Talk Unplugged. And the way they broke down this debate, I mean, it really gets to the heart of like why this question is so hard to answer.
Yeah, there's just so many layers to it.
There are so many layers to it, right? It's not just about who scored more goals. It's about so much more. And that's what we want to unpack for you today. We want to get past those like basic arguments, those surface level stats, and really explore the nuances that fuel this whole GOAT conversation. What do you think? Are you ready to dive in?
I'm absolutely ready. Let's get into it.
Okay, great. So first things first, how do you even define the greatest? Like, where do you even begin to like unpack that?
Yeah, it's a big question, right? Like you said, it's not just about the goals. Those are important, of course, but it's about more than that.
Yeah, and the hosts on Sports Talk Unplugged, they really hit on this too. One of them, John, I think his name was, he was asking like, what really makes someone the GOAT? And then I think it was Emily, his co-host, she brought up some really interesting points. She was talking about the impact a player has on the game as a whole, like how they influence the sport, and then also like their consistency at the highest level for a long period of time, not just like one great season, right?
Right. It has to be sustained success over many years.
Exactly. And Emily also mentioned the ability to make their whole team better, like how they elevate everyone around them.
Yeah, that's crucial. Like, are they just a great individual player, or can they actually lift the performance of the entire squad?
Right. And then ultimately she talked about how a true GOAT might even change the way the game is played. Like they bring something new and innovative to the sport.
Right. They redefine what's possible. They push the boundaries of what people think a footballer can do.
Exactly. So when you look at Messi and Ronaldo through that lens, it's pretty clear that they've both had a huge impact, right? Like they've both changed the game in their own ways.
Absolutely. I mean, their influence on the sport is undeniable. And what's really fascinating is that they've done it in such different ways.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so we can't talk about this debate without talking about the numbers, right?
Oh, absolutely. The stats are always going to be a huge part of this conversation.
Right. So John, on the podcast, he brought up that Ronaldo has the edge when it comes to total goals scored. I mean, we're talking over 800 goals in official matches.
Wow, that's just mind-blowing when you think about it. Over 800.
I know, and he's done it across so many different leagues too, Portugal, England, Spain, and now Saudi Arabia.
Right, and that's a key point, I think, to be able to maintain that level of scoring across different leagues with different styles of play, different defenses. It's incredible. It shows a level of adaptability that's pretty rare.
Yeah, it really does. Okay, but then Emily brought up Messi's stats, and she made a really good point. While Messi has over 700 goals, which is still amazing,
Oh,
obviously,
yeah, still unbelievable.
his overall contribution is arguably broader. She highlighted his playmaking abilities, like his assists are insane, and then those dribbles that he does.
Yeah, those dribbles are something else. It's like he's not even human sometimes.
I know, right? And then his vision on the field, the way he sees passes that nobody else sees.
It's like he's playing chess and everyone else is playing checkers or something.
Seriously. And she made the point that his assists and key passes, they're not just like secondary contributions. They're essential to how his teams play.
Right, it's not just about him scoring, it's about him creating opportunities for his teammates.
Exactly. He's orchestrating the attack.
Yeah, he's like the puppet master pulling the strings, making things happen.
I like that. And then, of course, we have to talk about the World Cup, right? Messi finally won it in 2022.
Yeah, that was a huge moment for a lot of people. I think that kind of cemented his legacy.
It did, and Emily actually described it as the cherry on top of his career.
I think that's a perfect way to put it. It was like the one thing that was missing from his resume.
Exactly, and for a lot of people, that was it. That was the deciding factor in the GOAT debate.
Yeah, I think for a lot of fans, the World Cup holds a special significance. It's the pinnacle of international football.
It is, and winning it's like the ultimate validation in a way. It's proof that you can perform on the biggest stage when the pressure's at its highest.
Right. It's not just about club football. It's about representing your country and leading them to glory.
Now, we can't forget about Ronaldo's international achievements either, though.
Oh,
He won the European Championship with Portugal in 2016 and the Nations League in 2019.
Yeah, those are big trophies. They're not the World Cup, but they're still significant.
They are, and Emily acknowledged that on the podcast, too. She pointed out that those are major accomplishments, and they definitely add to his legacy.
Yeah, I mean, leading your national team to any kind of trophy is a huge achievement. It shows leadership and the ability to perform under pressure, just like the World Cup.
But I think what Emily was saying is that the narrative surrounding Messi's World Cup win, it's just different. Like Argentina hadn't won it in so long, and there was so much expectation on Messi.
Yeah, there was a whole generation of Argentine fans who had never seen their team win the World Cup. And for Messi to finally do it in what's probably his last World Cup, it was like a fairy tale ending.
It was. It really was. It was like this huge weight lifted off his shoulders. And I think that resonated with people in a really powerful way.
Yeah, it added this whole other layer of emotional significance to his victory.
It did. Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit and talk about their club careers.
All right, let's do it.
So John on Sports Talk Unplugged, he talked about Ronaldo's journey through all these top European leagues. He started at Sporting CP, then Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus, and now Al Nassr.
And he's won everywhere he's gone.
He's won league titles and Champions League trophies with multiple different clubs, which is just amazing.
Yeah, that's what's so impressive about Ronaldo. He's not a product of one system or one team. He's been able to adapt and succeed in all these different environments.
Right, and that speaks to his work ethic and his drive to win.
Absolutely. He's always pushing himself to be better, to achieve more.
All right, and then we have Messi's legacy at Barcelona.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other story.
It is, the number of La Liga titles and Champions League trophies he won there, it's crazy.
It's almost like a dynasty, Like Barcelona just dominated Spanish and European football for a long time, and Messi was at the heart of it all.
Right, and Emily even used the word mythical to describe Messi's prime at Barcelona.
Yeah, I think that's a good word for it. It was like this magical period where everything just clicked for him on the team.
And she talked about his partnership with players like Xavi and Iniesta.
Yeah, that was a special trio. The way they understood each other on the pitch, it was like they were reading each other's minds.
Seriously, it was incredible to watch, but Emily was also quick to point out that Messi's career isn't just defined by Barcelona.
Right, he's had stints at Paris Saint-Germain and now Inter Miami.
Right, and while those moves might represent different stages of his career, they show that he's not afraid to embrace new challenges.
Yeah, he's not just a one-club legend. He's willing to step outside his comfort zone and test himself in new environments.
Okay, so let's get into the really fun part, their playing styles.
This is where the contrast between them becomes so clear.
It does. So John described Ronaldo as this incredible athlete. The power, the speed, the aerial ability, it's all there.
Oh, yeah, he's like a physical specimen. And his finishing is so clinical, it's like he was born to score goals.
And Emily made the point that he's maintained that physicality well into his late 30s, which is incredible.
It is. It shows how dedicated he is to his fitness and his craft. He's always working to stay at the top of his game.
And then you have Messi, who's just different.
Yeah, his style is more about finesse and creativity.
John used words like vision and magic to describe Messi's game.
And it's true. The way he dribbles through defenders, it's like he's bending the laws of physics. And his passing is so precise, it's like he's threading a needle.
It's incredible to watch. And Emily emphasized that Messi's game is less about power and more about intelligence and control.
Yeah, he's not going to overpower you with his strength, but he'll outsmart you with his positioning and his touch on the ball.
Okay, so let's talk about mental game and their leadership qualities.
All right, so John described Ronaldo as having this unwavering self-belief.
Yeah, like an almost superhuman confidence.
And that's been a huge part of his success. He believes he's the best, and that belief drives him to achieve more and more.
And he's a very vocal leader too, right? Like he motivates his teammates with his energy and his passion.
Absolutely. He leads by example, but he's not afraid to be vocal and demand the best from everyone around him.
Okay, and then Emily talked about Messi's mentality, which is a little different.
Yeah, Messi's more reserved. He's not as outwardly expressive.
He's more calm and collected on the pitch.
But he still leads by example.
He does. He leads through his actions.
Yeah, his teammates see him doing these incredible things on the pitch, and it inspires them to raise their own game.
So after looking at all these different aspects, the stats, the styles, the achievements, the leadership qualities, it all comes back to that one question, right? Who is the GOAT?
And I think that's the beauty of this debate. There's no easy answer.
There isn't. It's so complex.
It really is. And I think John on the podcast, he made a good point about this. He said it's not just about the numbers. It's about the whole package. It's about the impact they've had on the game, the way they've inspired fans, the legacy they'll leave behind.
Right. And Emily, she talked about the subjectivity of it all.
Yeah, like what one person values in a player might be different from what someone else values.
Exactly. Some people might prioritize goals above everything else, while others might be more impressed by playmaking or leadership qualities.
And that's totally fine. There's no right or wrong answer here.
And she kind of summed up the two sides of the argument, Ronaldo with his versatility and his athleticism and his global impact versus Messi with his artistry and his consistency and his ability to perform at such a high level for so long.
And at the end of the day, I think we're just lucky to have witnessed both of these players in their prime.
We are. It's been an incredible era for football.
It really has. They've both pushed each other to be better, and they've entertained millions of fans around the world.
All right, so as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a question to think about.
Yeah, what do you value most in a footballer when you consider all the factors we've discussed today? The goals, the skills, the trophies, the leadership. What stands out to you as the most important quality?
And why do you think that particular quality resonates so strongly with you? What does it say about your own appreciation for the sport?
It's a question that can tell you a lot about yourself and what you look for in a true GOAT.
So keep thinking about it, keep debating it, and most importantly, keep enjoying the incredible legacies of both Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. They've both given us so much to appreciate.
They really have. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for listening.